Alright everybody, what's up and welcome back to another Rainbow Six Siege video. So it's been a while since I made one of these because it's going to be a Rainbow Six Siege patch notes video, and I actually missed this one, making this, and to be honest, this is probably gonna be a long video, so if you don't have much time, I don't know what to say. Hopefully you do. I know that the most important thing is going to be the operator changes, but they're all going to be at the end of this video because they are at the end of these patch notes. So I will leave a timestamp on your screen right now if you only want to see the operator changes, but if you want to hear everything that's actually going to be changed in the new Operation Ember Rise on Rainbow Six Siege, just stay tuned. We are going to go over everything, and that's why it's gonna be a long video because there's a lot to talk about. Also, I try to go over these things as quickly as possible, but also kind of give my opinion on them and explain them if needed, so bear with me. Hopefully I will not ramble too much because I have the tendency to do that, like now. It's been over a minute, so we should get into this. But one more thing before we continue or even start the whole patch notes is that I know that you guys probably have seen the reveal of the new operators, the Amaru and the Goyo, so I will not be going in depth with them because I'm sure you guys already know how they work and what they do, what their gadgets are, etc, etc. So I will not waste your time by going over these. So if you don't know how these work or how the operators work, just find out. They're all over YouTube. I will go over the loadout and their gadget, but I will not go over them in depth, if you know what I mean. But without further ado, let's start this Operation Ember Rise patch notes video. Oh boy, it's been already over 2 minutes, so great start. So Amaru is the new attacker in the Rainbow Six Siege, and she brings the Gara hook to the game, and it's just the grabber hook that you can use in hatches, in windows, in everything you can pretty much imagine. And I'll quote Ubisoft quickly. They explain it very well. So quote: "The Gara hook is a truly unique contraption. With it, Amaru can grapple on the ledges and windows and hoist herself up in record times. Her opponents now not only have to worry about attacks from above, but also attacks from below. With the Gara, Amaru is the only operator that can go up an open hatch instead of down. When timed right, hooking the Gara onto a window can result in Amaru's infamous Gara kick, which instantly takes out an opponent standing behind the window." End quote. So that's her gadget. Her loadout consists of G8A1 primary LMG, which is the IQ's LMG, and the Supernova shotgun, which is used by Hibana and Echo. Her secondaries are the ITA-12S shotgun, which is used by Mira and Jackal, and I'm actually surprised that they gave her a shotgun so she can destroy the hatches by herself, and not synergize with another operator. And also her another secondary choice is the SMG-11. Her gadget choices are between the Claymore and stun grenades, and she is a 2-speed, 2-armor attacker. Next up is Goyo, and he is the new defender which brings the Vulcan shield into the game, and it's just a deployable shield with a fire canister or gas canister attached to the back of it. And I'll quote Ubisoft once again. So quote: "Goyo gives a new dangerous meaning to deception. With him in the field, every deployable shield is a question. Is this a simple obstacle, or could it blow up in your face? Like the ordinary deployable shield, the Vulcan shield provides cover and allows defenders to block pathways, but Goyo turns up the heat with an attached incendiary bomb. From the front, however, there is little indication of which it might be. Until someone shoots the bomb to make it explode, the shield continues to be an obstacle for the attackers. Hopefully, Goyo's teammates will remember to save that explosion for when an attacker is standing in front of the shield or climbing over it. So that's his gadget, and it sounds super interesting. And his primaries are the Vector 45 ACP that is currently used by Mira, and the TCSG-12 shotgun, the Slug ACOG shotgun that is used by Kaid. His secondary is just one. There's only one secondary for him, which is the P229 pistol, and that's used by Legion and Ying. And his secondary gadgets are impact grenades and nitro shells. And he also is a 2-speed, 2-armor defender. Next up on the list we have Canal Rebirth, and this Canal Rebirth makes the actual map look so different. It's basically like we are getting a new map, like we did see with the Hereford base. Because in the Phantom side we got the Cafe Rework, and it was pretty minor. They changed a few rooms, they added a few ledges and rooms, whatever. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. The new Canal or the Cafe is much better than the last one, the old one. But the Canal Rework, it looks amazing. The whole art style changed. They added another connector. It just looks a brand new map basically, but I'm sure that while you're playing you can still feel like you're playing Canal, but an upgraded one. And I hope that it's good, and it actually looks to be a good map. It looks to be more balanced, and they are adding it into the ranked map pool, so hopefully it's an actual competitive map, and I'm very happy about this one. I like this change. And the next change is very controversial, and I'm going to make a separate video about this one probably, but it's the battle pass. So Siege is going to get a battle pass into the game, and this season the battle pass only consists of a mini pass, which is a 7-day event with, like, I don't know, a few charms. But the next year 4 season 4, that season is going to be when we get a whole battle pass. So people are quite upset about this one, and for me I don't really see the problem with this one, because as long as it's just cosmetic, it's a reasonable price, it's reasonable to earn the rewards, and it doesn't if it doesn't take resources from the actual game design, like the free content, the item shop, season updates, whatever. So as long as it doesn't take away from those things, I'm alright with this one. And just it's an additional way to support Ubisoft. If you want to support Ubisoft, you can purchase this one and you can get some extra rewards from it. So I think Battle Pass is a great idea if done properly. So I hope that they will do this right, but we just have to wait and see. But so far I don't really have a problem with this one. I actually like this one. I'll probably buy this one, the premium pass, but I don't know. I can see why people are upset about this one, but I don't know. Maybe we just should give Ubisoft the benefit of a doubt. Next up is an unranked playlist, and this is kind of weird. It's basically like a playlist between casual and ranked, because there is no rank. You can't lose or gain ranks, but you are basically playing in a ranked environment. So there's the ranked timer, it's only bomb, there's ranked map pool and everything. I think there's pick and ban as well. So you're basically playing ranked without the fear of losing your rank, so you can practice your strategies or whatever. But in my opinion, this seems like a kind of an odd addition, because in casual you can practice your strategies as well. I just set it on bomb only, and I know you'll get like non-competitive maps sometimes, but still, I don't know. This just kind of seems like a weird, unnecessary addition, since we already have a newcomer playlist, ranked and casual. So I'm just hoping that this won't add too much delay to the queue times of normal, casual or ranked, because I'll probably not play this one. I'm not probably gonna play this one at all. So for me, it's kind of unnecessary. I can see the appeal for this one, but we have casual, so I don't know. Next up is a new champions rank, and it's kind of cool. So this is definitely not for me because this is just a step up from diamond. But once again, because Ubisoft explains it very, very well, so I'll just quote Ubisoft with this one. So quote, as the ranked playlist continues to evolve, so does the ranking system. For now, diamond remains at its peak, but a new rank is taking it one step further. Once a player reaches 5000 MMR, they'll enter the champions rank. While it mostly functions like other ranks, it has something that ups the ante. Individual rank numbers. The top 9,999 players with the highest MMR within the champions rank will have their standings displayed on their rank, which means that whichever player has the highest MMR in the game will be recognized as the number one champion. This doesn't mean, however, that champions who aren't currently in the top 9,999 will be taken down to diamond. As long as you remain above 5,000 MMR, you are a champion. Sorry for butchering. So that's something that's definitely not for me because I'm like plat 3, gold 4. So other changes to ranks are that they are taking the gold 4 rank out. So there's just gold 1 to 3, and they're adding silver 5, bronze 5, and copper 5s. So that's the rank changes. I like this one because I know that the diamond players who continuously hit diamond rank or rank after rank, season after season, will have something to grind for, even more than the diamond. So this is a good change for me. And the next one is the pretty much the only bad thing that's coming in this operation, and it's called map rotation. And once again, I'm quoting Ubisoft. Quote, Operation Ember Rise also brings a few modifications to the map pools of various playlists. Casual will be reduced from 20 maps to 14, while ranked and unranked are down to 12 from 14. The start of the season, the maps that are being cycled out of casual are House, Presidential Plane, Yacht, Favela, Theme Park, and Tower. The casual playlist will also have a new rotation system, cycling 3 maps in and out every month. The reduced number of maps will give players the opportunity to familiarize themselves more with the map pool, while the rotation will allow for more diversity. The first monthly rotation will take out Skyscraper, Fortress, and Oregon and replace them with Tower, Presidential Plane, and House. On the side of ranked and unranked, Hereford, Theme Park, and Fortress are being removed, while the brand new rework of Canal will be added. The biggest change to the map pool, however, is the night mode will no longer be available in the casual and newcomer playlists. It will only be playable through custom game. Also, Theme Park will be removed from all playlists in preparation for its rework with Season 4. So everything else is alright. I like that they are taking the certain maps out of ranked. They're taking the Theme Park away because they are reworking it, and the night mode is completely gone. I love those changes. But the one thing that really bothers me is that they are reducing the casual map pool from 20 to 14, so by 6 maps, and those are the House, Presidential Plane, Yacht, Favela, Theme Park, and Tower. And the reason they are giving here is that they want to make new players familiar with the map pool. If you want to make your player base familiar with the maps, let them play all of the maps. I don't understand this logic. You want to make people familiar with your maps, but you reduce the map pool by 6, and by monthly recycle, you will add 3 new maps, or new maps, quote unquote new, 3 maps and take out 3 maps, so you'll always miss 6 maps. I'm face palming here right now because it just doesn't make sense for me, at least. This doesn't make sense at all. Why would you say that you want people to get familiar with the maps, but you don't let them play all of the maps? You know what I mean? Do you see what my problem is? And I know that they will recycle these maps in a monthly basis, but why? I mean, who asked for this? If it's not broken, don't fix it. I don't understand this. This is stupid for me, and I'm getting triggered just by. I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time on this one. I'm getting triggered. Let's just move on. This is stupid. Ubisoft, just reverse this, please. It's a stupid change. It's casual. Who cares? It's not a competitive environment. Just let us play all of the maps in casual. Who cares? I don't understand this one. Next up, they are talking about player behavior updates. They are talking about 3 different changes. So I'll quote once again Ubisoft, because they explain these ones very well. So quote, "The first thing we're changing pertains to the sanctions a player receives for leaving a ranked or unranked match in progress. Repeat offenders will now get an increased suspension durations for every time they leave a match in those 2 playlists. Additionally, when a player leaves a ranked or unranked match, other playlists will be locked while the match they quit is ongoing." So that's a good change, because if you're playing with randoms in ranked and they just rage quit, it sucks, because it affects your game. You'll probably lose, or you're outmanned. So that's a good change. If you rage quit ranked, you should get sanctioned. I'm sorry, but you should get punished for that. That's just the stupid way of playing the game. Also, second, we've been working to make idle players less of an annoyance. When an automatic idle kick is incoming, the idle player receives an on-screen warning and countdown. Also, if a player remains idle for the duration of the preparation phase, they'll automatically drop the diffuser if they have it when the action phase begins. So this is good, because if you want the diffuser from an AFK player, you'll have to TK. That's never never the right choice, but it's been the only choice. So as luckily we now have a choice. They'll just drop the diffuser if they are AFK. And also, last but not least, a new update to reverse friendly fire will arrive during Operation Ember Rise. It takes into consideration a squad's overall level of toxicity, with the possibility of activating reverse friendly fire for that entire squad if they are consistently hurting their teammates. So I think this is just targeted towards if like a 4-stack will bully the one random in the team. Like the first round, one teammate kills him and gets the reverse friendly fire, and the next round another player TKs him. Yeah, and the cycle goes on. You know what I mean. So now maybe if one of your teammates TK the teammate, all of your stack, because the game recognizes who you are partied with, all of your 4 stack will get the reverse friendly fire activated instantly. So that's a good change. Because that's I've been on the receiving end of that bullying, and also I hate to admit, but I've been on the giving end as well. So that's a good change. Next up is couple pretty much irrelevant topics. New operators menu. It looks good, but I'm not gonna waste time on that one. Also, the shop interface changes it looks good, but it's irrelevant to this topic. Next one is streamlined player versus AI. So I will once again quote Ubisoft on this one. Players have long used the player versus AI game modes as a warm-up, whether it's to practice your aim or to get yourself in the mindset for your match, or simply to get used to the game's controls as a newcomer. Terrorist hunt and situations remain available for you. Now A few tweaks will essentially change them into something more reliable and simple. In order to make Terrorist Hunt more representative of multiplayer gameplay, a few things have been removed. Bombers will no longer appear, and both nitro cells and barbed wire will no longer fill entire rooms, though they'll still be found scattered throughout the maps. On the other hand, situations have been reordered from easiest to hardest, and their progression will no longer be blocked or locked. So you can play and complete them in any order you want. So this is good because a lot of players have been begging for this one, because a lot of players, myself including, use Terrorist Hunt as a warm-up. Especially when I'm playing ranked, I like to go in there and practice get like headshots. Well, I'm not flicks because I'm on console, but you know what I mean. But the bombers, even though there's just 2 of them, and if you're playing on normal difficulty, it's usually they're not an issue, but they're annoying and they'll just slow you down. Same with the nitro cells and the barbed wire. They'll just slow you down. You can't speed run that well. And now you can just practice more. There's just normal terrorists. There are no more barbed wire and nitro cells filling entire rooms. They are still scattered around the map, but there's not that much of them, or many of them. So that's a good change, because I like that. I like Terrorist Hunt, but it's been kind of annoying to play it as a warm-up. So I like this change. Next up is another one that we'll just skip. It's Mira Elite Set. If you want to see what it looks like, just search it on Google or YouTube. It looks good, but once again, it's gonna be something that we're just gonna pass on. Then there's gonna be new weapon skins, and then finally we have Operator's price decrease. So for the newcomers, this is a good change. Capital and Caveira's prices will now be 10,000 renown or 240 R6 credits. Ying, Lesion and Elas, they will come down to 15,000 renown or 360 R6 credits. Maverick and Clash prices will decrease to 20,000 renown or 480 R6 credits. So that's good. If you don't have all of the DLC operators from previous seasons, now these 6 or 7 actually are a little bit cheaper. And finally, for the meat and potatoes of this video, the operator balancing. It only took 22.5 minutes. Oh shit, this is my longest video ever, and I do apologize for that one. I'm sorry it took so long. I try to be as fast as possible, as quick as possible, but I tend to ramble so much. I do apologize, but let's get into the operator balancing ones. Shotgun destruction is the first change, and they are talking about that shotguns will now destroy wooden beams more reliably. And this is good because shotgun damage on the wooden walls and whatever is inconsistent, so I'm happy with this change. Alibis and Meister's revolver and also the GIGN revolver will have the same destruction output as the Deagle of Valkyrie and I was also gonna say Maverick, Valkyrie and Blackbeard. So that's good because the Deagle is actually a pretty good weapon to get murder holes. So this is a good change. Next up is a huge change to the secondary gadgets. So Smoke will lose his impacts, and this is crazy to be honest. So Smoke's impacts will be replaced with a deployable shield, and this deployable shield is the deployable shield version 2 that they will be showcasing. It's a good deployable shield, but still Smoke loses his impacts. Ouch. Rook's deployable shield will be replaced with barbed wire. As a Jaeger main, this sucks that Jaeger's deployable shield will be replaced with bulletproof camera. Frost loses barbed wire for the deployable shield. Mira loses deployable shield for barbed wire. Lesion loses deployable shield for bulletproof camera. Maestro gets Smoke's impacts and he loses the deployable shield. Warden loses impact nades and he gets a deployable shield. The KB loses stun grenades for frag grenades. That's interesting. And Glass loses Claymore for frag grenades as well. And Nox stun grenades will be replaced with Claymores. So huge changes. This will probably change the meta quite a bit actually, because the secondary gadgets are important. Shield operators are getting nerfed once again. Personally, I don't have a problem with that. I think shield operators are very irritating to play against. I don't like to play against them or as them. I just don't like them. Like the Clash is the only exception. So their ADS time will be increased from 0.4 seconds to 0.6 seconds. So a good change, gives the defenders a little bit more time to line up that headshot while you're in your ADS transition. And Jackal is getting nerfed, but it's not his gadget like I thought it would be, or it should be. So it's the PDW-57, and it will now probably lose damage over distance. So its base damage is now 38, damage at 18 meters is still 38, and damage at 28 meters is 26. So actually the PDW was one of the best guns at range, even though it's like a submachine gun. So now they adjusted the range accordingly. Twitch and Lion, the 417 marksman rifle, will now have 10 additional rounds per magazine. So one of the downsides of this semi-auto rifle was that it only had 10 shots in a magazine. It dealt crazy damage. It can down a player in 2 shots, but it only had 10 rounds. But now it actually will have 20 rounds in a magazine, just like the KB's MK14. So this is a huge buff. Fuse gets a little bit of a buff. His deployment time for cluster charges are reduced from 2 seconds to 1.6 seconds. That's actually interesting. Kaid gets another buff. His AUG damage will be increased from 33 to 36. And finally, Warden. His gadget duration increased from 8 seconds to 10 seconds, which means that Warden is still completely irrelevant and useless. That does nothing. Warless is warless. Warden is the worst operator in the game, hands down. But that's it. Then they are talking about general tweaks and improvements and main bug fixes, and there's a lot of them, so I'm not gonna talk about them because this is a 27-minute video already. So that's everything, literally everything that's gonna change in new Operation Ember Rise. The technical test server is currently live over on PC, so if you have a PC that can run that, let me know down in the comment section what do you think about these changes. And even if you don't have a PC or TS, just let me know what do you guys think about these changes. And if you watched until the end, I salute you. Thank you. This has been the longest video I've ever made, and my mouth is actually it's starting to hurt from talking for straight 30 minutes. So I haven't been used to this one. So continuously talking about just a game or basically anything for 30 minutes. So if you watched until the end, thank you very much for watching. And once again, I will leave the link to this patch notes down in the comment section and also in the description of this video. But without further ado, I've been taking so much of your time already. Without further ado, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.